odds are good you haven't really routed anywhere else, or at least nowhere you feel really comfortable, as now Castry gets lasered right off of the start. However, able to trade it back out, 231 tags, and he also has that blue shotgun he's trying to push with. Unfortunately, slides down a little bit, and he has to be conscious of his mats. Only 5 left here. Wants to try and close distance on this fight, knowing he has most likely the weapon advantage here. Does build up. Great 2 shots and an edit from Castry. That was fantastic, Balla. Might be able to quickly scavenge Modern, but it looks like somebody has already been through this side. Again, if you are just joining us, that's the point format on the right-hand side, but this is him solving that awkward situation right away. Body shot into the double. Able to clean that one up. Optily going down, kind of just walking slowly.
But I don't think he actually wants to engage fully. Here's Lukey, who is not that far away, and he does take another one, fighting over the Box Factory, fighting over Meowsicle's loot, which is the Pew Pew rifle, the heavy AR, and there's another one here too, so this was heavily congested. We already saw him take out Marcus C.
Yeah, and he's going to take another fight here right away. Lukey, no stranger to taking and pushing fights, but Slays said, all right, let's go, man. He does have that tack, which will give him the advantage if he's able to create space for multiple shots. However, in box-to-box against that pump, it's going to be difficult. Trying to force himself in, and right away, there it is. Tries to force on the side. Lucky pays him back at that 150 threshold, the blue pump being more than enough. Is going to pinch up and try and get an ambush going here. It'll be interesting to see if he commits to this fight, particularly after getting lasered, but it looks like he is just going full send on him. Z-Spray down to 65 HP, gets knocked in, pump, swap, and gets taken out. RZ slow, picks up the 4 points there, 12 HP left to his name, but plenty to top back up.
Trying to build away from Yahtzee, who's just getting so aggressive on top of him outside of Pleasant Park. And they do have the materials to make this fight last. He's going to try to pressure into the box, but it doesn't look like either of them are going to take any opportunities given. Yahtzee trying to find that, and he does! And finishes off in great fashion of just one clean pump shot.
I'm wondering a whole lot about this fight, but Reyes trying to go for the big pump shots in a row. Not quite really giving him the angles, but also not quite fully defending himself. And this is, again, we talk about awkward situations and getting bogged down in fights. You look in that bottom right-hand corner. We're just outside Salty Springs. There's a lot of players nearby, and they are making a lot of noise. And Ro does not have a lot of builds against the RPG. Only 2 builds left. He's going to have to commit to this fight here shortly. That's the last 2 builds. Double edits down. First shot comes through, and Ro able to clean it up. But it looks like somebody else is immediately trying to... Nope. Turned away right away. It was that,
There's a number of people there already. Fights have gotten taken in that spot. Every single house also occupied. A nice heavy snipe onto Iketre, and that's the that's the thing. In these lobbies, you cannot stay still for any brief moments. And he's actually going to try to crank for this height, but there's another player who realized that that snipe went through. He's going to go down and into it. He grabs the wall, almost gets the cone. This player goes for it. Ends up trading, but now he has no control over the walls, and Ro is going to easily be able to have the initiative in that one. And takes it again, but loses all the spoils that he...
literally ever has been a part of almost every single competitive Fortnite event now, but on the outside of the zone. And a nice little 1v1, 232 tags coming on the shield, but immediately gets ramped over. He's going to look to try and knock it down, saying, nope, I don't have the positional advantage here. Has plenty of floppers, will knock the player down. No fall damage coming through as he continues to work around. You can see his crosshair placement, just trying to line up where that player wants to peek out every single time. Good edits, falling down with attack. This player sticking to the SMG, and just brilliantly played from Aragonis. Lechy, Wolfie, CRR are all probably one notch above for me.
100%. But he has proven himself to get better and better. I mean, in the squad's performances, I think he was one of the better performing outside of Wolfie's, who obviously plays second with Benji and Mongrel and Nate.
He's right on the edge of the safe zone. If he goes, he has to commit, and he has to resolve this fight, or at least cover himself right away. Trying to force himself into the box with the phase through, doesn't get the wall. Gets the wall the second time, doesn't have the stair. Cone gets re-edited back in, and a good push. Glock Martin going down. Well done from Waverax there. Gets a very much so needed reset, and a really key and uncontested elim with so many players around him, but some kind of hard sightlines, so kind of understandable. And full aggressive is what a lot of these players are looking for. Consoleer on the side being chosen. You don't want to be selected by the rest of the lobby, as the Storm is going to force him in, and that is the freest of free eliminations for Castry. Aiming down sights, hits the shot. As you can see, Castry getting some good shots onto Eric, who is already down at 150, so shields should be mostly broken, if not full broken. Pushing into the box, good job with the SMG face. Great job to take the wall with the attack shotgun, and Castry showing that, hey, not just an open player, won a week of FNCS with duos, right? Like, as we see the Storm Surge Special go over, they're all going to look for aggression, and we'll see who knows how to play in this type of situation, because only 5 players need to go down, but immediately everyone gets hyper-aggressive, and the warning itself almost as good as Storm Surge as Edison picks up KPZ, and more AR shots are going as everyone looking for tags. You have Dementos, the long-standing veteran of the Fortnite competitive scene, hanging out in the bottom, the middle of the stack right now, but he's trying to get up in the cone to make a quick little ambush. However, pretty sure that player knows he's there. And in fact, I'm positive he knows, but I have no idea what you're doing, as Dementos gets a free elim, and we have our top 50% of the lobby. Another one of the console mobile players who did get taken out there. The week 3 winner going down, as Tamir also rotating into the zone. Snazy on the lowest ground. Coolest Carrot, 999. The player formerly known as 4E Clutch, now fully embracing it, and he's the one holding the drum gun ball.
That he is, and that's one of the reasons why he did so well in the open qualifiers, at least on that day 1. And we talked to him, it was a huge part of his success. And we'll see. It is going back towards the agency. He's basically been able to chill, hopefully, or possibly for the entire game. There's a player on the other side of the box, and that is never what you want to end up doing, is getting right next to 2 different players and having one aggress you while the other one is like, hold on, this is a free opportunity. He gets it, he gets the materials, not necessarily the loot, and gets right out.
Also immediately going to pop that big pot there, sitting on the 3, knowing he won't necessarily have 5 free seconds later, so he'll take the 25. You hear all the launch pads come out as we have Storm Surge again. 7 players need to go down, and Carrot is going to begin his tunnel. Wall and then ramp above with the standard triangle, and now he's going to look back to zone, not necessarily finding anything, but a great job putting the... Oh my god! Puts the ramp down to force the player up into the cone, edits it back down. Brilliantly played from Coolest Carrot. However, walks directly into a player. We will catch the update there as he makes the drum gun sing. Bop, 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 bop. Wow. Also hits the tack shot into a back-to-back, and then a short launch. Not sure if intentional, but it works out fantastically for him. 3 straight elims and almost into the top 25 for Coolest Carrot on a great run.
This is massive for Coolest Carrot, and he's making everybody pay, but finally Rexu takes him out. But a magical performance there. Quick 5 elims in a row, essentially, and we're now on to Castry. Lukey's still up in this game. Versa as well. RZ Slow, who you pointed out, just took out Hawkers. So a lot of big names still up. Castry now trying to take over this tunnel, essentially, and pressure now. He's got it all to himself. The low ground right above the water. A decent spot to stick, and he does find a fish in the box, and then another 200 turns around and closes it out. Castry is a monster, and now he's on to 7 eliminations, and has Brutus's drum gun, gets another one onto row. This is 2 players in a row that we're seeing get multiple strings of eliminations, back to back to back, and Castry going forward more with the piece control. He faces in, and another one. That was Versa. He's up to 9 now.
And we have our top 10. Remember, every single placement here, top 10 is where you get more placements going through. RZ Slow takes out Dementos on the high ground, repping for the controller gang on the console. Can he go through? But Castry making the flopper play and wants to go for height late. However, super conscious of it is that high ground player as Lookie takes down Aragonis. Castry putting Brutus's minigun to good work here, but he needs to start working back towards the zone as we get the wide of the shot. You have Slow, Rotary, Lukey on the bottom. Castry trying to get a piece of that with the minigun as Slow picks up Rotary again. Slow making a claim for it, but Castry says, calm down. This is my game. 10 elims for him, and he's going to dip into the storm again with one more flopper. Has the slurpfish and recognizes everyone has to be out of builds. They all be in. Drop on him, and Nikeva picks him up. Sinji picks up Snazy as well. This is Nikeva's match to lose, as everyone else are literally fish in a barrel. You can't build anywhere else. Desperately trying to connect. 6 rockets. Pump. I mean, this only ends one way, Balla. There's no way.
That it does. There's no way to recover it. You're all the way down in the water. And there's almost nothing to connect to, although he breaks himself out. But the other player's down stuck underneath that in the water, and Nikeva has a couple builds to still reconnect. I'm wondering if there's much left at all down below, and there's not. The RPG onto the ramp.
That's impressive. Honestly, it looks like we left him speechless as we swap on over to the standings and we take a look. We have Grizzy, bad sniper, somebody who did qualify for the World Cup,